to those of you on the ones and twos in the YouTube of the view, and those who are here in the tick of the talk of the cosmic clock, where we just vibe in our new high frequencies and it just don't stop. We just had our new moon, this new moon energy. And those who have been in any workshops with me know we usually do the new moon manifestations from the crown going down. And with that, we're working with the frequencies, we're working with our energy centers. And today we would be on the 6th day. We start 3 days before the moon and it goes up to 3 days after. So today would be the 6th day, and that would be on the sacral chakra from the crown going down. So today, for those who have the 5D calendar, today is also was, because I know we passed 12 o'clock for some of us, but today was also the throat chakra day, according on the 5D calendar. So it's really a sacral throat kind of day. So, the chakra infusion for the day is really having us work through our emotions, channeling through the emotional body, allowing the realization of whatever has been of our identity, our spiritual identity, our divine image in the creative activity of it all, in the creation of time, to really highlight to us through our emotional body what is, so that we can remove through our higher self. We know what's what in our spiritual identity, so we can remove any guilt from any of the false matrix that they want to put on us, because that's the number one block of that sacral chakra. So to remove any of that guilt, remove any of those blocks. Thank you for those who are coming through. Send some hearts so that those, it can kind of move with the algorithm and get those who are on higher frequencies to find us right where we are, shifting and sifting through time, through the dimensions in our mind, speaking to the 144 and those who are turning over through the infinite nine, because it's on. Like, we are approaching the Barbolt's basket, which is, I call it the cosmic basket, because I don't really like to use their Greek names, their philosopher names, for something that was always already there. So the cosmic basket, that's happening with the alignment of 4 planets at 4 degrees. And if, for those who know how to read the charts, if you look, it'll look like a little basket. It'll be shaped like a little basket. And for those of you on YouTube, you probably already saw it because it's everywhere. If you, anywhere where you see Barbolt's basket, that's what they're talking about. And we're approaching that between the 18th to the 21st. 4 planets are going to be at 4 degrees. And this is saying a lot for us in the fifth dimension. Those of us that are shifting and sifting through the times, and pushing the timelines. Like, and this is happening again. This is not the first 4 planets at 4 degrees, but it is the first one now that is in the cradle or the cosmic basket. The other one was on July 4th, so it was a 444, and we've talked about that. It was 4 planets, and it's mainly consisting of the 3 outer planets. The 3 outer planets: Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus, the big heavy hitters. And the fourth planet before was Mars, and now this one, the fourth planet, is Jupiter. So, and Jupiter is in opposition to Pluto. So we got a lot going on. We got a lot that is helping us into, for those who know how to read the cosmos and time and the stars, is really an uptick. I don't know how many of y'all are sensing it. Like, I'm hearing, I can feel it in the air. Like, I forgot what song that go to, but you know what I mean. We can feel the essence. We can feel everything shifting. The ground is shaking. I mean, we've been having a couple of earthquakes. The sun is on its uptick. The sun is on its 10, giving us all of it and then some, giving us all the CMEs, which are just light energy and information. These are codes that are accelerating our ascension. It's for all of us. So a lot of us are feeling this, and the cosmos help guide us through this. So this new moon that we just had is also helping us at this particular time to have this emotional liberation. I don't know how many of y'all been feeling it or sensing it. How many have been feeling this emotional liberation where we're breaking free from all type of toxic, familial, relational, all type of things that throws the emotional body out of whack, which is really emotion, which is really relationships, right? And speaking of that, on the sacral, type of energy, the sacral chakra, which is the 6th day in this sit in this new moon manifestation. So really what throws us off is relationships. What holds us back from even going forward a lot of the times, a lot of y'all not realizing, is relationships, the obligations that we have. What's holding us back from even our ascension, our soul unfolding journey and our ascension at particular times? Some of us are missing all kind of divine appointments and things like that because we are missing where we are supposed to be because of relationships. So a lot of that has to be sorted out. A lot of that is falling away right now. This is why a lot of us are feeling the kickback, or or seeing that a lot of family members are falling away, or you're just, it don't got to be them falling away. You're walking away. We are walking away. How many of you are sensing that separation? Like we are in the grand split. How many of you are feeling that stuff? Oh, I lost the phone. Sorry, phone. Dropped y'all. My bad. We're back. How many of you are feeling that separation? Put a 1 in the chat, or a 111 if you're feeling that. How many of you are sensing the separation? Because it is happening. And I'm seeing it, I'm sensing it, like it's just in the air and everywhere. And some people are really thriving. The 144 ascendants, congratulations, you made it. Those of you that are ascending through time, through space and time, and you are feeling the separation, and it doesn't make you know never mind, right? It's not slowing you down, it's not holding you back. You're free to let go. That's what the liberation is. The liberation is that you feel free to let go of anything, any animosity, any whatever it is. There are things that have come up in this Mercury retrograde that, yes, you have got it pretty much rubbed back in your face. Like, look at this. It's like the universe is saying, I said this. I've been showing you that. That's how Mercury retrograde was coming in recently, especially with Saturn squared. Saturn squared with Mercury retrograde with the new moon. OMG. Greetings, love and light. Hi, how are you? I need my glasses. I need my glasses. Hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Get me some glasses up in here. Get me some glasses. Thank you. Get my little one to get me some glasses on the TV stand. Thank you. Welcome in, Dream Wizard. And I'm doing great. I was answering somebody else. I'm trying to scroll back to see it. 111 in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. How many of us are feeling, thank you, the changes and the shifts? I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening. Why we having that. Jeannie, welcome. Oh, Joni, see? Joan, that's why I need the glasses. Welcome in, Joni. Welcome in. I'm trying to see. Come on, scroll with me. It's not scrolling with me. Arts, welcome in. Peace, love, and light to you. Anybody coming through, go ahead and send them hearts up, because the more hearts we get pumping is how the algorithm gets it going. And those who are meant to be on our frequencies will be able to find us right here where we at. Right here. Come on. I'm trying to scroll back down. There we go. Now it's scrolling with me. Now we scrolling. We scrolling. Okay. I thought I missed someone. There was someone who just said hi, and I wanted to make sure I respond, but I don't see. Okay, there it go. Musa. Okay. Musa, Mansa Musa. How you doing? Peace, love, and light, and welcome in. God's child, welcome in. Anybody who is here, send some hearts. Boo Boo, Bobby, welcome in. Saya, welcome in. Happy new moon. Those of us who are in here getting ready for the 4 planets at 4 degrees, look in your chart and see where there's any planets at 4 degrees in your chart, or 22 degrees, because the new moon was at 22 degrees, and that was highlighting something for us as well. Bringing us back to even remember what was happening and where we were at and around the end of December. So let me finish lighting the sage. As I was saying, There are some things that's happening with family members right now. It's been happening. It's just that it's coming back up because of the Mercury retrograde in Cancer. We got to remember that Cancer is the house of family. It is the house of home. It is the house of the nurturer, the maternal lineage. So most of you, most of us that are having little hiccups and whatnot, it's in the maternal family lineage. Do the math. Do the math. Let me see who here with me. Do the math. If you know, if anyone else that has been feeling the separation and the desperation or disparities, I don't want to say desperation, within the families, and you know it's in your maternal, drop a maternal in the chat. Because I know I could say for me, yes, it's maternal. Most of what you're seeing is maternal. And even if it's on the father's side, it's going to be maternal. It's probably through your father's mother. It's going to be through some auntie. It's through the feminine gene, through the maternal energy, through the maternal lineage, because Cancer is that nurturer. So any of you that are sensing any of these hiccups within the family, that's what it is. And it's happening for multiple reasons. It's happening because we're going to that next timeline. For those who are shifting and going to that next timeline, we got to drop the baggage. We got to drop that obligation to family. If we're still carrying certain concepts and certain beliefs, like blood is thicker than water and I got to be here for my family no matter what, these are the type of stereotypes, I want to say, or these are the type of statistics, these are the concepts that we're breaking, because it simply isn't true. You're not here to be stuck to your bloodline like that. Your bloodline is a part of your soul's journey and your soul's course. Your bloodline is a part of your spiritual blueprint, a part of the course that your spiritual blueprint chose, so that you can have certain experiences. And the bloodline provides that, because there are certain things that comes in the bloodline. See, a lot of us don't look at it like that. There are certain qualities and qualifications and certain situations. There's certain traumas that come in the bloodline that you came for. Because if you came to transcend something, and if that something is in the bloodline, then that's why you're there in that bloodline. And so those family members, this is why I call them co-workers. When we're practicing how to depersonalize, this is why you call them co-workers. They are my co-workers in life. They are not your best friend, right? Your family members are not to be taken as, this is my bestie for life. They're your co-workers. And sometimes it comes with struggle and strife, and that's just what it is. So, but the good part is, when you mature with a spiritual maturity, you learn that this is a part of the blueprint. You accept, this is a part of the love frequency. The love frequency is being an acceptance, and I don't mean accept what they do to you. I mean accept the information that's being shown to you, so you can know how to live your life more fruitfully and less engaged, less entangled with them. Feeling free of guilt. A lot of people stay stuck in certain positions with family members and things like that because of obligation and being riddled with guilt, which is a block of the sacral chakra. And now it's time to express the true reflection of what is. That's the sacral throat chakra alignment of the day, as I spoke about earlier, for those who were in here earlier. Ashe, welcome in Just, welcome in Edward, King, Love and Light, sending lots of love and light. Christina, lots of love and light. A lot of us are not recognizing that these are the trials that we've chosen, for one, and all of this is pinpointing to us. Everything that's happening to you is happening through you. It's nothing to you. I always say it like that. Whatever is happening through you to bring you to you. That's a better way to look at it, rather than saying, why is this happening to me? It's happening to show you something. There's something that you missed. Mercury retrograde is bringing up all kind of hiccups in technology, in conversations. This is not the time to have certain meetings and make certain major decisions with certain people, because this is a time to really retrospect and reflect on what is coming up, what is happening, what is the dysfunction that you're noticing. And I'm guaranteeing you, it's showing you, the more that it's kicking up dust in your face is the more that it's trying to get your attention for something that's happening at this particular time and space, in your time space reality. It's very important that we extract this, and I don't think we talk about this enough. A lot of us are not recognizing that the past year, while Jupiter was in Cancer, it was really expanding the things that have been happening in our family lineage, the things that have been happening that are in the bloodline. Some of you who are coming online are waking up to becoming aware of seeing the demonic entanglement in your bloodline. And I know a lot of people don't like these words, but I'm going to have to speak the way that it is. And demons, let me clarify, let me say this first and foremost, that demons are unhealed wounds. Let's just have that in our vocabulary. Let's not look at it in the woo-woo way that everybody's used to looking at it. Oh, demons, all demons are your unhealed wounds. Every unhealed wound that you have is a demon that needs to be exhumed. Let me say that again. Every unhealed wound is a demon that needs to be exhumed. That's it. Legions of demons when you have legions of wounds, whether you are aware of it or not. So known and unknown. This is why it is important to know thyself, so you can know what lies beneath the surface and what is happening in the energetic realm, which is, by the way, the fifth dimension. For those of you that are aware of the fifth dimension, this is all a part of the ascension into the fifth dimension. It's where we recognize that it is more than meets the eye. It is not just what's happening at surface level, but then you begin to learn and understand, overstand, and understand that what is happening at surface level is simply to indicate to you and to bring you to the awareness of what is happening in an energetic level. Do not ignore the signs. The signs, the synchronicities, the things that are happening at surface level is pointing out something deeper at an energetic level. Can you see in the energy? Can you see what is happening energetically in that realm? That's a whole spiritual warfare. And the warfare, as I've been saying, is in the bloodline. How many of us are able to recognize that? Hearts, hearts, hearts. Welcome in, love and light to you all. Share the light, share the live if you feel that it's something that's beneficial for you or somebody that you knew or know, somebody you know that's going through it. I know you're not the only one. I'm not the only one. We're all seeing like crazy out here in these spiritual streets. It's crazy out here in the 5D streets. It looks crazy. But when you know what you know where to go. You know what not to do. You know what not to stand for. I'm telling you, the more that I've been seeing with this eye right here is the more that it makes it easier to walk away from all kind of stuff. Like, I feel so light, and I know this is a whole nother level of what I have come here to do. I had a lot of attachments, and I had to learn. I was told this years ago that I have too many attachments, and I didn't understand it. I had to learn it time after time after time. And a lot of us do have too many attachments, and we have personal attachments. And that personal attachment is an ego attachment, and it blocks your crown chakra. Number one block of the crown is ego attachment, which blocks you from being into total connectivity with the divine and the universe. It doesn't mean you're not connected at all, but it blocks you from being into total connectivity to the point where you can override certain things because you are in total connectivity, because you don't have the taintedness, you don't have the filter of the ego's attachments, which is your personal attachments, whatever they may be. We don't need to, thank you for the roses. We don't need to give excuses about it. As humans, we do. We'll be like, but this is why we got to stop debating with our higher self. We got to stop bargaining with our higher self. And when you have a real relationship with the divine and your higher self, you learn to stop bargaining. You begin to realize that you actually look like a spoiled soul trying to have your way all the time, trying utilizing certain righteous truths to be right and be comfortable in your human pursuit, if that makes sense. And so the crown chakra, the gateway into the cosmos, the cosmic body, is saying be so connected to the divine. It's not saying don't connect to the earth, because we're here to be connected to the earth. That's part of the experience. But it's saying be so connected to the divine that you know how to override your personal will at any time. We got to stop walking around here being spoiled souls out here in these spiritual streets, because that is doing us a great disservice. It's time for a spiritual maturation like no other. And that's why Third Eye Atlas was moving through with us for those 6 months from September, last year, September to March, from Virgo to Pisces. South Node Virgo, North Node Pisces. It was here at a specific time to amplify the evolutionary ascendant of that particular lunar node axis. Why? Because it was important to help guide us into a spiritual maturation. Because that North Node in Pisces is a spiritual maturation. The evolved aspect of Pisces it's the house of spirit. It's the most spiritual house. So it is bringing us into this spiritual maturation, which is what we need to help usher us into the Aquarian age, because that's where the North Node is going next. Right now, it's in the process of transiting. Right now, it's probably at 0 degrees Pisces or 29 degrees Aquarius. It is moving into the Aquarius age. It is guiding us. Well, it is ushering us into the Aquarian age, the age of the knowing. And the best way to be great stewards of the light in the age of the knowing, where we don't fall to the shadows of that age, is to have a spiritual maturation, or else you're going to walk around like a bunch of know-it-alls. A lot of people think that the age of the knowing is just, oh yeah, we all go know everything and information is everywhere. And yes, all of that is part of it. Information is everywhere, especially now that Uranus just Uranus entered into Gemini, the house of information. And Uranus is about radical changes. So we're going to see major changes in that, in how information is. We already see information is moving faster and faster and faster. And it's not just about having the information or just knowing the information, but it's what you do with it. To whom much is given, much is required. So it is wise for us to have this spiritual maturation, North Node in Pisces, before we shift into North Node in Aquarius, to help usher us more into the Aquarian age, into the age of the knowing, with a spiritual maturation, so that you're in your higher self. You understand your higher self. You understand the divine will. You understand the divine plan. So you know what to do with said information and what not to do. Some things are not to be handled yet. Some information is just meant to be there, marinating, waiting until a particular moment in time, to when it has matured, to when it is time. There's a time and place for everything. And some people are just vomiting information everywhere right now. And it takes time, because we have to integrate. We have to integrate into this new timeline. We have to integrate into this information. The universe is taking its time with us. So we got to take our time with ourselves. We got to slow down. Ooh, and I'm seeing 5-5. We got to make the change. That's what I'm hearing. Make the change. Woo! Na 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 na. We gotta make the change. 5 on YouTube, 5 on TikTok. That is a double 5. If that ain't saying change, I don't know what is. All 5 of you each on both ends is witnessing that there is a change. And there's a change to be had, and we are in changing times, and we have to respect the change of times. Ashe, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the heart puff. Ashe. So there's so many things that are happening that we just have to take time. We got to be gentle with ourselves. We got to be patient with ourselves. Because if we're not patient, we disrupt, we trigger the ego. Let me say it this way. We trigger the misappropriated ego. Because the ego is hardwired to protect. So as we're working on ourselves, as we're doing our soul excavation and we're doing our shadow work, we really do got to take time with the ego. Be assertive with the ego. Call it what it is. Don't try to coddle the ego. Tell it what it is, but also have patience with yourself. Because without it, all you do is trigger the ego to defend itself again. So why am I saying that? Because as we're doing our soul work, when we catch ourselves, when we catch certain things, don't beat up on yourself. Take it with a grain of salt, as they say. Realize what it is when you're having accountability for something, because that's what this Saturn square with Mercury has been doing. It's bringing accountability. It's squaring up, and sometimes it could feel uncomfortable, but it's bringing that accountability to how we show up in any situation. I'm saying this to whoever needs to hear it. Whatever it is that's happening in your life, world, and affairs, I'm asking you to look at how you show up. Not the person on the outside, not the situation, not the job, not the thing, but how you show up. How can you hold yourself accountable with all due respect? Admit and see where you have went wrong. Be willing to admit. I don't care how wrong they are, and they may be very well wrong and definitely more wrong than you. This is not about who's more wrong than the other. It's simply about you finding out your place in it. It's about that accountability, the ability to account for the energy that has been held in account that you have not noticed because it's been in your unconscious loop. It's been in the subconscious mind. And it's been replaying and replaying every time to the point where you're like, why is this keep happening to me? Well, because you have not discovered the unconscious loop. So what I'm saying to you is I'm equipping you with a tool to say, let me sit down and let me find this unconscious loop. Yes, spend a lot of time in that energy. Ashe, thank you for that, Jean. That's what has to happen. Accountability and authenticity, yes. Little feather, you big feather, you. Little feather is being a big feather. Accountability and authenticity and responsibility. You have to be authentic with yourself. We have to be authentic with ourselves before even being authentic with others. Authenticity is about you. Authenticity is the highest form of the heart chakra. When you're in your higher heart, you are authentically true. You are authenticating the vibratory field, which puts you in a better position to walk in your soul's integrity and spiritual integrity through authenticity. And so this is what we are acquiring right now. This is what is being required of us through the universe and time, from our higher self, through the dimensions. We have to be willing to look at ourselves and see our ugly. Thank you, Spirit. Let me get back to the ego. We got to be willing to see our ugly. As I was saying the other night, I don't know what's so hard about just saying, damn, I did that. That's ugly. That's me. And when you are loving and kind and patient with yourself, you will have no problem looking in the mirror and saying, that's an ugly thing. That's not beautiful right there. That's an ugly thing that I did. And I need to walk with that ugly until it becomes beautiful. Walk with that ugly until it becomes beautiful. Now it just saw 7-7, 7-7, 7-7. That's manifestation, manifesting. And that's the day that's the next step we going into next. The 7th day. Rest in your manifestation. Awakening, love and light. Welcome in, welcome in. That's what I'm talking about. Share all the hearts you can. Heart it up, hearts right back to you to help those who are on the higher frequencies find us on the light grid right now. Because when we in these higher frequencies, it's hard for certain people to find it. Because I'm not on that other distraction stuff. Right? Let me see. Let me see what Jean is saying. I frame it in a positive, like I'm not stupid. I need to learn more. Ashe. If you find yourself beating on yourself like, damn, I'm so stupid. No. I mean, you got to know you. Say what you can say to you. So I know myself. So I can really cuss myself out. I can look at me and be like, you big dummy. You know, I could say certain things that some people may be a little bit more sensitive about. You have to know yourself. And if you know a certain phrase is sensitive to you, then yes, reframe it. If you know that, maybe, let's say, for example, you've been called stupid all your life and it was improperly so, and you may be a little sensitive to it. So it's like, I don't want to say that word. It may trigger something. It may unconsciously trigger that ego to put up its protective, armor. So, and you don't want that. So you may have to reframe that and be like, okay, no, I'm not stupid. I'm just learning something right now. I missed the mark on something right now and I'm learning, but I'm not, stupid. So you have to know yourself and know what words you can use. But we really got to be honest with ourselves and call it what it is and be willing to walk with that ugly until it becomes beautiful. Hey, Divine One, Ashe to you as well. Welcome in, welcome in. And if you do not account for yourself, how is it you're so quick to have someone else account for themselves? Thank you. That's it. That's another part. If you're not accounting for yourselves, but yet you want someone else to account for themselves, you want them to have accountability with you. Well, in order for them to have accountability with you, they got to have an account for themselves and within themselves. This is why it says, forgive them for they know not what they do. This is not about them. This is about you. I have to remind myself when certain things, it's like, especially with family, as I was talking about earlier with family, it's like, what's going on? They lack accountability. And it's like, you know what? I got to have accountability for myself. I got to stop showing up for them and show up more for me, because they're never going to have accountability for themselves. And as long as you keep giving way and not keeping your boundaries, healthy boundaries, that's what it's going to be. Ashe? That's right. So we can't expect them. I have to remind myself, hey, they don't know no better. They can't even respect themselves. How do I expect them to respect me? That don't mean put up with disrespect. It just means we got to admit to ourselves that they're never going to respect you. They cannot respect themselves. Now, what are you going to do? Where's your boundary? My 5D to my 144 to my 5D. Drop a 144 in the chat. Let me see how many of my 144s we got here. How many of you are the 144 ascendant? And if you don't know what it is, or you're not, that's fine too. But 144 ascendants, no. It's a frequency. It's not a number of people. It's a frequency. You are one of those who have attuned to the higher frequencies to the point of the 144, which is what I like to call a completion times completion. 12 times 12 is 144. It's a completion times completion. If you add all the numbers in 144, you're going to get a 9. That's a spiritual completion. So the 144 ascendants are on this frequency. And when you are on this frequency, and some of us are still at different levels of this frequency, it's not one size fits all. It's not so black and white. So there's different tiers, there's different levels, there's different layers. But if you are truly of the 144 ascendants, it's to know the signs of the times. Those of you, you know you're in the fifth dimension. This is not a question. 144 ascendants are not just waking up. You know you're in the fifth dimension. You know you're in the Aquarian age. We know what time it is. There are certain things happening in the energetic realm that we can't play like everybody else. We can't do what they do. We can't straddle the fence. The deeper, the more mature, the more you raise in your higher frequencies, the more mature you get in your spiritual maturation, the more you everything elevate, evolve, and ascend, the more you realize you simply can't do what everybody else can do. You can't celebrate what everybody celebrate. You can't eat what everybody eat. And it's a beautiful thing too. You don't even feel like you missing nothing. When you are truly at this frequency, you don't even feel like you missing nothing. It's not even a question of, oh man, I'm not going to get to do this, because this is why some people don't like this work, because ignorance is bliss. Some people want to be Cypher, like Cypher in the Matrix, and they want to know that that's fake steak, but they want to enjoy the fake steak. Some people are very happy and content being there. And if you are, I just got to be honest, you're not the 144. 144 ascendants would never be okay with being a Cypher that is okay with eating fake steak. The 144 ascendants are the ones who are a part of the remembering, the ones who have signed up to come here, probably as star seeds, who are ready to be a part of the planetary ascension, who take their spiritual transmission in time very seriously. And nothing matters. The more you awaken, the more we go through our awakening phases and stages, the less that things of the world are important. And I mean, including family. This is one of the hardest things, and that's why this past year has been so difficult. It's one of the hardest things is family. It's to debunk family. It's one thing to be like, time is an illusion. Money is an illusion. But when I say family is an illusion, people get choked. You mean my family? Yes. You are having a finite experience in this world. Your family is a part of the world. Be in the world, not of it. You didn't come here tied to them. You came here in a connection with them because there are stories in the bloodline that need to unfold in your timeline. Man, I know that's not easy for a lot of people. It takes a lot of detachment. Let me see what some of y'all were saying. I know I missed some of y'all. Hey, Celestial. My Celestial twin up in here. Yes, you got me. You got me. But in the blaze, someone is up in here. But in the blaze, it was not the fire that sought to consume me. It was the chaos within my own mind. Ashe, ashe. I like that. That's what's happening. It's the chaos in your own mind. It's not the fire that's trying to doom you. Y'all see that sun turning up? The sun is not here to burn you. It's here to burn you out. It's here to burn out your parasites. The parasites that has attached to the chaos in your life, world, and affairs. Ashe, ashe. Family is definitely a part of the world. Yes, awakening. You know what time it is. And a lot of people find it hard to see that because still attached, it's my mother, it's my brother, it's my... Listen, I told some of y'all already, I grieved my mother for 2 days and she is alive, well, and kicking and ticking. I grieved her and I have accepted that the mother that I once knew, that I grew up in my human attachment to, is dead to me. A transition has taken place and that person is no longer here to me. That person is no longer here for me. I have to detach from that in my mind. Now, do I see her? Yes. Do I know her? Yes. Do I talk to her? Yes. But she's timelines away from me. And I'm aware of that. And that's how I have these relationships right now. These family members, they could be in my face, but they are timelines away from me. We're not in the same timeline. I done quantum leaped a couple of times beyond them. They are a part of the collapse in the old timeline. That timeline is collapsed for me. It doesn't exist. I time travel. I shift. I'm in another dimension of my timeline. A lot of people don't understand what that means. You think another dimension mean that you're going to be in some weird looking place and, oh, I'm in this dimension of... It's weird because it's not what it used to be. It looks, when you look around, it's still going to pretty much look the same. We got to stop having these fantasies about what these dimensional shifts look like. Because with the naked eye, it's going to look like we still in the same place. It's just like what's happening with the old earth, new earth shift. Everybody act like the old earth is going to blow up into, we're still going to be on this earth. With the naked eye, we're going to look around and we're going to still see that tree right there. We're still going to see that house, right? We're going to see the same things with the naked eye. But with the third eye, with the fifth dimensional third eye, you're going to experience it differently. We're going to see the same things, but we're not experiencing the same things. All right, let me see what some of y'all was saying. Oh, I missed another. Oh, okay, there was more going on there. Hold on, let me check you out. My oldest two daughters shake my head. May they find healing and peace. Mommy is done with that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, little big feather. And I'm not saying like, oh my, yay, hooray. But what I'm celebrating is the fact that you can detach from that. It takes a lot of work for us to detach from that. It's not easy, but when you get to that point, boy, is it liberating. Boy, is it free. That I don't have to worry about some type of obligation that I gotta have to these people because they have their own journey. Your children come through you. They do not belong to you. You are the channel. So we got to be able to detach. I'm not here to make you be like me. I'm not going to fight tooth and nail to try to make my children do what I want them to do. I'm going to guide you. And yes, while they are young and little, there's rules that we got to follow. But I'm not going to fight tooth and nails to try to save you from every little thing. Mommy's done with that. That shit is whack. Thank you for sharing that. I was feeling that on family. It can hold you back. Yes, Celestial. It's really a holdback. And this is one of the breakthroughs that I done got. The last year, I had been talking about this since before Jupiter even got Cancer. I had been saying it to certain groups that I was in. I was like, listen, Jupiter is about to enter Cancer, y'all. It's going to be an expansion of things happening in the home life. And boy, did it show up in the past year. And now we're at the tail end of it where Jupiter just left, but Mercury retrograded. So it's kind of going back over what those last degrees in Jupiter was doing. Plus, the sun is in Cancer. So the sun is bringing everything to the outer world, is bringing it all up in our face for us to see while Mercury is there. This is one of the easiest Mercury retrogrades. It's being put right in your face. And we have a few moments of that until the sun shifts. Just a few more days. Right after the Barbalt's basket, the cosmic basket, right after that, it's going to shift out. So get what you can get right now. It's helping with the shift. I know, right? Ashe, ashe. It's a nervous system upgrade. Yes, all of this is calibrating our nervous system as well, along with all of this. The nervous system and your nadis, your 72,000 nadis, NADIS. That's the energetic aspect of basically our nervous system. It's like all the energetic nodes connected to our entire chakra system. Mental consciousness, yes. I had to go no contact with mine, but I completely understand the situation. Yep, you get it. You see what's happening, awakening, and revealed that which was hidden. Yes. Yes, little feather, that's what's happening. We revealing. Reveal what's hidden. I like it. Everything is coming to the surface. The revelation is real. They talk about the book of Revelations, and we in that book. And it's not even just like a time place. A lot of people don't understand that all Revelations is the time of truth. Revelations to reveal the truth. So a lot of people are going through their book of Revelations in their life, world, and affairs. The timelines are shifting and closing. So yeah, old timelines is Revelations. I need me a charger because somebody, we about to lose connection. Come on. Let's keep the charge going. Let me light something right now. In the meantime, welcome in, welcome in. Let me get charger. Let me get a wire, please. Thank you. So I could charge this one up. And in the meantime, let me read this other comment that I was missing here. Um, and when you account for yourself, then you see how to help from a place of accountability rather than from a place of compromise. Yes, right on time is what we were talking about with family and everything. When you are sifting this out, and when you account for yourself, which is what Saturn is over there doing, squared up in Mercury, it's reminding us of accountability. Thank you. When you account for yourself, right, then you may see how to help from that place of accountability rather than compromise. So because you have accountability and the ability to account for what is, you don't have to come from a place of compromise where you over compromise yourself, because that's what some of us do while we're helping, over compromising. So no, we're not in that season anymore. This is not the time to baby. That's why I did that video about babysitting the bloodline. This is not the time to babysit the bloodline. Let it go. This is not about overly compromising and overly compensating, overly explaining, overly seeking understanding. No, this is not that time. Giving the benefit of the doubt, which I don't practice, and I always tell people I don't give the benefit of the doubt. I heard someone say that in one of the rooms that I was in listening to something. It's like, no, I don't give nobody the benefit of the doubt. And not because I'm mean, but because that's not my job. That's not my job to give the benefit of the doubt. It's not my job to give grace. These are things that we train. See, we're trained. Every time I hear that, it sounds like a trained dog when I hear people say that. Not that I'm calling anybody a dog, but that's what it sounds like to me, like a well-trained, puppy, dog. Oh, I give people the benefit of the doubt. Okay, who trained you? Master trained you real good. It's not your job. I'm not saying it means be mean to people, but it's not our job. Our job is to respond, to be able to respond to truth. Our job is to be responsible stewards of the light, be able to respond to truth. Do not go against truth to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. That's what the benefit of the doubt does. You want to go and be superhero or whatever. You want to play God. That's not what it's about. Okay, so see, I put in the light and the other light went out. There goes my ring light. Like we can't share? Can't we share some kind of light around here? It doesn't want us to share the light? Hold on. 1 second, y'all. Tell me how y'all feeling up in here. Can I get let me get some fours. 444. Anybody been seeing the 444s? You get a 444. Okay, bear with me while I plug this in. Plug it up. There we go. Now I can see again, y'all. Hearts up in there. I might just leave the light off. As long as I got this light, I'm good. Any light is good light. Thank you. I need to hear this from you, sis. You're welcome, Ashe. I needed to say it because I felt it today. I was like, I feel like I got to talk more about family. I feel like we need to talk more. The last few days, I think the last few lives, I'm going to just have open space for us to talk about family. And you all feel free to bring up any questions, any comments that you have in regards to family, because I can probably help share some insight with that as to why we're seeing certain things that we're seeing, and tools of what we can do, how we can set our boundaries within ourselves, with family, how we can find patterns in the family. Because remember, you chose that bloodline for a reason. My question is to some of you is, did you get your mission? I'm still trying to adjust it. Hold on. My question would be is, did you get your purpose? Did you get the answer for why you're in that bloodline? If this is one of the things I would share with you all, if you have found yourself coming up against a lot of betrayal, then that means that one of your purposes in life is to practice altruism. So the challenges that you have is betrayals. You're gonna experience a whole lot of betrayal in the family, with close friends that are like family. Everywhere you go, you're probably one of the ones that feel like no matter what I do, no matter how true I am to others, you're being downright honest truth in your heart. But no matter how true you are, people always seem to twist it. And then they end up in a betrayal. They end up always betraying you, betraying your trust, taking you for granted, things like that, because that's their job in the bloodline, right? There are certain attacks. Like, one of the things I also want to talk about with family is how to recognize certain demonic attacks. You are getting attacked. Best believe if you're in the bloodline and you're breaking chains, you are under attack. And this is when we got to look with this eye, when we got to look with the spiritual eye, look beyond the surface. Nothing is just a simple little anything. There are certain things that your family members are doing right now to poke at you. This is what I call energetic poking, right? I haven't heard many people talk about it like that. And then someone asked me today, what's poking? Or it was yesterday. It was actually another family member. And because that's my language, and I was seeing something very clear in the family. And sometimes I just laugh at it now because I'm so detached. And I said, oh, she's poking. And they were like, what do you mean poking? And I was like, well, this is a person that obviously could understand a little bit of what I'm saying. But I had to let them know that that's what I call a demonic poke. Energetically, they know how to get at you. Even if you haven't spoken to them, a lot of times y'all don't understand the WWW, the World Wide Web, or what I call the demonic database. The demonic database always knows where the wounds are in the family, in the bloodline. It knows your wounds. This is why they say the devil knows the Bible. See, they don't get these things from nowhere. Why does the devil know the Bible? Because it's a demonic database. It's the opposition entities and energies, and they are aware of all the principalities. They live in the realm of energy and principalities. That's the spiritual realm. So when you see people doing things at the physical level, on the physical realm, don't get it twisted. It's coming from the spiritual realm. And we got to be able to recognize it. A lot of times people don't recognize it because they just call it coincidence, or, oh, that's just a thing, or that's just how this person is. No, nothing is just that. Everything has a print, an imprint, a blueprint. Everything has a energetic background. That's how we got to see things. Nothing is face value. Whatever you see that's face value, you got to be willing to lift that and say, what's behind that? And I don't care who it is and what it is. Right? Yes, we got to break and detach. I had to rebuild myself, my whole life, career, family, friends. Yes, you are definitely in a season of change. You are definitely in a season of change. If any of you had to redo completely everything, like I had to redo my whole phone, and didn't have a phone for a good couple of days, almost a week. No access to the phone. People couldn't access me, but that was the Mercury retrograde showing me something about communication, showing me about the next level of detaching. and letting go. And believe me, as since I got my phone back, I was having a fun time deleting so many things because I'm not one of those easy to delete type of people. I'm not a blocker, like I'm not a friend blocker. I don't do that whole social media, I'm a block you. I don't have to because the energies will block you. So I've never looked at things like that. But what I'm seeing now is that the energies is saying clear your space. Clear your space. Like why do you have, for instance, I realize I have a oh, y'all little mosquitoes out here, huh? Let me light something for y'all. Let me light my thing back. Why do I have, for example, a Facebook? I don't even really go to the Facebook anymore. But why did I have a Facebook account, y'all? I looked at this and I looked on the Facebook and it was like 2,000 something people. They say like 2,000 something friends. I was like, I don't even have no friends. 2,000 and something friends, and I have no friends. Right? And it's not to say I don't have acquaintances or people that, but I don't have no friends. I'm so to myself. And I'm okay. It's not a lonely thing. When that's like I said, when you at these levels in the higher frequencies, it don't matter. You're never alone because the amount of entities you got around you, when you start to work with your spirit team, oh please, you're never alone. And you don't even have time for the regular day-to-day life and world people because you constantly with your spirit team constantly telling you something, instructing you, and it's like on to the next mission, on to the next mission. Can't catch a break at that point. Y'all see some of the videos that I've been doing lately. This month, July, has been very busy. One thing after another. It's been summer solstice. Oh snap, we detoxing. Oh snap, it's the full moon. Oh, now we in the Sirius gateway. Oh, now we in the new moon manifestations. Oh, we got a cradle right after this. We got a 4 planet at 4 degrees cradle right after this. It's back to back because every time these are not just things that are happening in the skies, guys. Look at that. These are not things that are happening in disguise or in disguise. It's not a disguise. These are real life cosmic events that are happening that are guiding us to the next thing, to the next thing. It's keeping us busy. It's like a job. It's preparing you and telling you to be aligned. These things that happen is not just for shits and giggles. It's not just for a showcase. Oh, new moon. Oh, we got a full moon. Yes, it's exciting. Yes, I'm glad the world is starting to learn more about the new moon and full moon. But for the 144 ascendants, it's always a message that is saying, get to your station. Get to your station on the light grid and do your work. It's time for the next amplification of ascension. What are you going to do? What is your job? What are you supposed to be doing while you're on the light grid? Are you shining your light? How are you shining and sharing your light? Even if it's with the 1 and 2 few. Like you see me, mine's is very small. I don't have no big group. I don't have no 4,000 whatever K people. I don't, because everybody's not here. Everybody's not ready for this. This level of work here, it's not commercial. It's not the most glamorous part of the road. Right? Even for spiritual people, a lot of spiritual people that cannot handle this kind of, like what you were saying, I rebuild, I change my whole life. How many of you are willing to drop certain family members right now? And I mean, not just tell them you drop them, but you let them go in your mind. You actually detaching from them. Them being able to call you and talk about they got an emergency and you say, well, I send you lots of love and light. I do. I really do. But it's not my job to help you out of that. That's a boundary. Especially when it's someone that you know has been siphoning your light, someone who has been disrespecting you, someone who does not respect your light. It don't got to be downright disrespect. But if they do not respect what you do, if you can hear that they snicker, that they mock, that they talk about you to other people behind your back in the family, and they don't really honor what you do, then they don't respect your light. And therefore, they don't get to have you in their life in that way. They don't get to siphon your light and have the benefits of being in your vicinity and taking from your currency, which is your energy. They don't get to do that. Least you give it to them. But then when things start to happen to you, when they betray you, things like that, that's on you because you allowed that in your boundary. So, we got to be real careful with some of that. Let me see. I feel like, oh, there was more. Okay. I find that I have to be way more humble than another. And that doesn't mean we're not both being humble and humbled. Ashe. A lot of times you got to have more humility than the other person. But it doesn't mean that you're both not being humbled. Ashe, ashe to that. Thank you for sharing that too. Let me make sure I got any more. Y'all got to see with me in the, I know I be stuck in one place and then I'll be like, oh, there's more. I overextended myself and feeling left with no energy a lot of times. Yes, Celestial. That's what Mercury retrograde is asking us to pay attention to in some of these messages. Some of the things that's coming up is asking some of us to say, hey, have you overextended yourself? Have you been left feeling with no energy? Have you just been dragging? Have you been feeling dragged? Have you been sensing? Because listen, you're empathic. You sense these things. Don't play dumb to the truth. Have you been sensing? Have you been hearing? For those of you who are clairaudient, have you been hearing the pillow talk conversations behind your back? From the people that's smiling in your face when you come around, they're like, hey, but you can hear. Or maybe the divine has had someone play it back in your ear. For some of you, the divinity has sent somebody to you and pressed that replay button, and whatever they told you, it wasn't nothing new. You had already been hearing it with the inner ear. You had already been getting a sense of it. You had already been seeing it. Spirit had already showed you who they were talking to. So when it was brought to you, it wasn't nothing new. Ashe Lotus says, never bored. My spirit's team says, friends are a distraction. Yes, they are. That's why I don't have none right now. And like I said, I'm not alone. I'm not bored. It is what it is. A lot of people, when they're in the beginning stages, you go through loneliness. You feel, ostracized. You feel, extricated. What's the word? Like ostracized, and I forgot the other word, but you know what I mean. You feel alienated, like what is going on? Why is it you feel like there's things you used to do that all of a sudden it don't feel the same, and you just can't enjoy things the way you used to? Grieve, let it go. Let it go and grieve. You can't enjoy it because it's not where you are anymore. It's no longer a vibrational match. Ashe, ashe. Let me sage that right now. It's no longer a vibrational match. Energetic background. Make music, all is so. Yep. Energetic background makes music, all is so. Energetic background makes music. I like that. Like the symphony. Like, can you hear the grand symphony in the energetic background? Do you hear the melodies that are playing? Can you hear the tunes, how you are becoming attuned to that energetic background? Yes, Celestial, this is our New World Ascension lessons. Ashe, I like that. New World Ascension lessons. And these are our ascension tools. And like, it's funny because when you say that, I think of like my uncle, the person who makes this, he calls this the AI, Ascension Instruments. We are on our ascension. And this is what it is. Yes, in that order. With the Mama D voice, in that order. Truth, truth. It's so peaceful though. Yes, it is. Let me make sure I got, okay, did I get everybody? Okay. Welcome in the wise one and bridge holder. Welcome in. And thanks for the follow and the share for those of you who have been sending gifts. Thank you for following, for sharing. Because the more we share, the more we follow, the more we interact, the more we can get to those who are on these frequencies. I'm not trying to get to everybody, but I'm definitely trying to get to the ones who are like us, letting them know you're not alone, and who are trying to understand what is happening in the fifth dimensional shift. And for those who need help in getting off the old timeline, please see me about getting the 5D calendar. The 5D, well, I need to stop calling it calendar because I don't like the word calendar no more either. Next year, I did 3 calendars, but the next one, I'm not even going to call it a calendar. It's the 5D timekeeping. It's the 5D timekeeping, 5D timekeeper. I'm waiting to Spirit give me another name if it want to give me something else, but I do not want to call it a calendar anymore. Because a calendar, the word calend has to do with tax. So it's tying people to tax. That's why the calendar begins in January during tax season, where they want to get a consensus to know who and how to tax. That's what your calendar is doing. It's tying you to a tax signature, to a tax location, to their tax in time. And I'm no one's tax. So the 5D timekeeping is to help get you off of the old timeline. It is to help you understand, even to be in alignment with the cosmos. Because with the 5D timekeeping, our month begins in Aries. And you'll see it in the calendar. We don't begin in their year, it's in Aries. And our year, we're actually in 2018. Because when they made that Gregorian calendar, they bumped us up 8 years ahead of the true time. So the true timeline is the Mayan calendar and the Ethiopian calendar. That is what had us in a true alignment with time and the cosmos and time. So I return us back to that time frame. So again, if you're ready to really help yourself utilize some tools to know when to align with certain divine coordinates in time, you may really want to check out the 5D calendar. And for those who are like here with me all the time, like if it's something that when you get it, you feel like it's too much, like I don't like to keep nothing back from nobody who needs it. If you can give a donation, I'll send it to you. But you got to be honest with you. I leave that up to the divine. If it's something that you can give to, and this is why I don't, we got to watch how we use currency and play with currency as well. You got to know you. Right? Like I'll tell y'all right now, it's like $36 because it's not like a regular, it's a tool. It's not just a calendar to say, here's the date. It's a tool. So it's really 27, but I got to ship it out. So it's 30. I put, $10 more on it or $9 more on it because I got to ship it out and pay for shipment. I don't have no big production over here. So yeah, I got to ship that out to you. So it's really 27 plus shipping. But if that's too much and you know that, hey, this is something I need, all you got to do is message me, email me, let me know, hey, hardship times, whatever is going on, but I know I need this right now, and you can get it for a donation. Or I'll give you one of the discounted prices. But you have to be honest with yourself and know what's true for you. Right? Thank you, Little Feathers. Like, no apologies needed. Your work is your work. Don't I know it? And see, that's the things I got to catch myself in too, because one of the things with me was it was hard to even price things because I'll just give everything away. But Spirit had to show me, no, you got to tighten up your root chakra. My root chakra was kind of shot. It was like, nah, you got to respect the currency, because even though money is an illusion, you are the currency, and what you do is currency, and this is how they understand currency. This is the expression of currency. So it's not to push that away either. So it's something that I'm still learning as well. Thank you. I want one today. Yes, Celestial, definitely message me. Send me the information, and you can message me or you can email me, and my email is on the page. And you can Zelle me using the email. So for those of you who want it like right now, just go ahead, Zelle it. And in the memo of the Zelle, um, put your address so I can send it to you. Ashe. Let me see. Was there anything else that you would put in there? So yeah, thank you for that reminder. Like you ain't gotta apologize. I know. But I know sometimes it be hard, and then not only that, I know that some people don't understand the way we interact with the currency and how we open up doors for ourselves. Because when you sow seeds into what sows into you, what gives into you, you're opening doors for yourself. Right. And I've heard some people be like, dang, $36 and $27 for a calendar. Okay, clearly you don't know what this is. Clearly you're not ready for this or something like that. It's just, hey, to each his own. You got to know what you're ready for. And when I think about it, I look at all of the things that's happening in this world and what people will spend their money on. You'll be mad about that. But you'll go to a fast food place and spend about $50, $40. Things ain't cheap nowadays. I go when I do pizza night and stuff, it be about $40. So we'll spend our money where we want to spend it. People will go to concerts and spend about $200 on some tickets, $400 on your outfit. But for something that's going to help you shift through the timelines, something that I could consider priceless, come on. Come on. Reciprocity. I'm in the law of reciprocity. Yes, Celestial. Yep. It's the creation. And I like to say I co-created. Because I honestly, whenever I look at it, and when you see that calendar, sometimes I still look at it and be like, what the heck? I can't make this up. It's no way I could have did this out my own mind by myself. It's a co-creation with the divine. My spirit team, the celestials, my Kemetic inclination, my Kemetic ones in my ancient blood that was returning me to the times of Kemet. Yeah. And showing me this is what we got to return to, the origins of time. And it's going to help you on to the next timeline. Ashe. Right? So yes, all you got to do is Zelle. If you want it like right now, just Zelle it right through, and on the memo, put your address, and I'll get it right out to you. ASAP, stat. Because this is something you gonna want to help you bridge through the timelines, and to help you find the timelines and see where the portals are and things like that. Like I have the Galactic New Year on there. Like there's things on there that are not on a regular, calendar. And it pulls you back into true alignment in time. Like the month that we're in right now is not really July. We're in the month of Cancer. And we're at the end of that month. We're at the end of that month. What they consider the middle of July is really the end of Cancer. And we're about to enter the next month of Leo. Right? Or on the calendar, Kemetically inclined, we're in the month of Nekbet or Nebtet, depending on which one you want to use. And we're going into the month of Heru. Because instead of even using the Greek names, I wanted to use as much as the origins, the original Kemetic names as possible. Because there's something about when we use the origins of time and the origins of language and the origins of numerology. When we go to those origins, we are actually unlocking codes. We are unlocking dormant codes, which is already happening. That's part of what Third Eye Atlas was doing, as well as it was passing through our solar system. It was upgrading our entire solar system, and particularly the inner planets. That's why it had a close encounter with Mars, Venus, the perihelion with the Sun, the Earth, and Jupiter. And it also, Mercury was like with the sun. Since Mercury is so close to the sun, when it had its perihelion with the sun, it was also a close encounter with Mercury. So all of these planets got upgraded. Our planets have been matured. We went through planetary maturation. to help bring us into a spiritual maturation. It's all like, it all goes together. So we got to understand it's from the micro to the macro. On so many levels, we are all being upgraded. Let me upgrade you. Let me upgrade you. Introduce you to some new things. Upgrade. We here to get the upgrade. And those of you who are spiritual leaders, who are facilitators, it's time to step into your place. It's time to step into your light, shine your light, because you're activating on the light grid. Those of us who are really walking away from the family obligations and things like that, oh, you really lighten up on the light grid. We really lighten up on the light grid. And the light colonies are coming together. And that light grid activation is amplifying, again, more acceleration. It's sending messages back to the sun, back to Mama Universe. And that's why it's kicking back up with us right now. It's saying, okay, ready, let's go. We accelerating. To those who haven't done the work, they burning up. The people that's dropping out, oh, it's too hot, the heat, and the rest of us just like, in the sun. I might do a live tomorrow in the sun if I have some time, or the day after that, because I've been doing a lot of night lives, and I want to just sit in the sun with y'all. I want to, we need to go, we need to have a collective, what do you call it, diner. We need to have a dinner. Let's get together and let's appropriate this sun together. I'm gonna share the sunlight code appropriation with y'all. Get out there and get in the sun and get these light codes, because they are amplifying. It's turning up. Who can't take the heat, get the hell out the kitchen. Like I heard this girl say on one of these TikTok videos, one of my favorite ones too, and she was like, I'm gonna let the sun talk to them. I don't got no time to be debating and going back and forth with nobody. Go let that sun talk to you. Go talk to the sun. Don't talk to me. Earth graduated as well. Yep. Earth is a part. Well, the Earth is the one that's having the planetary ascension. So Earth is sending its signals back up via us, because we're the conduits of light on the Earth. All light coming in through us into the Earth. And we're also sending back light codes back up. It's an in and out. And so as we send that out, it's sending back all the messages back out. That's saying this is where we are. This is where the light grid is. How many of us are coming online? This is time. You know why? I forgot to say this part too. You know, another reason why a lot of the family issues are happening, for us to walk away from the ties, the family ties and the family lies, is because it is time to find your soul tribe. It is time to activate the light colonies, where you, the lighthouse, finds another lighthouse and another lighthouse, and we come together and we activate the light colonies. Because there are colonies of us. Not that we're colonizers. When I say colonies, I'm not talking about we colonize nothing. But there are colonies that we're all going to be able to connect to each other, especially as this old earth is dying, because you know they ain't going down quietly. They going down kicking and screaming and desperately doing everything they can to keep the illusions of this old earth. So while all of these things start kicking up, and those who still think they're the powerful ones still exert their power egoically, narcissistically, while all that is going down, we're going to need the light colonies, because we're going to need to know where to go for the spiritual elites only. Because you have to be aligned. It's not going to be a club that we kicking you out. It's nothing that's going to be like a club. But this is the energetic design. If you do not align, you don't incline. It's just that simple. So it's going to be by inclination, by you inclining and you finding your spiritual destination. Your divine coordinates are going to lead ones and other ones to these light colonies. So those of you who are on the higher frequencies, those of us that are really like walking away, it's because it's time for us to find each other. See, it's like, even with this, I don't want to do too much of this. I can sense it. I can feel it. I know there's a time for everything. And I've been doing videos since 2022. 222, 2022, ever since I started pioneering the fifth dimension, constantly being shadow banned and all of that stuff. Because I know, this is how I know the ones who's really doing the work. I don't just talk about it. It's an experience. Ashe? Yes, our soul groups. And now it's time for us to find the true soul groups. True. Because I've been saying this. I've had a couple of groups here and there. And people come in and out because it's been shaky. And I notice a lot of people have been straddling the fence. A lot of people want to be a part of 5D, but at the same time are not really spiritually matured and ready to detach from certain things. So they're still straddling the fence. Um, so yeah, I'm sensing this next level is not for the midwayers, it's more for the true ones, the light colonies of the true ones. And it's for us to start. It's going to be a point now where I'm not going to be that accessible. Just like I told my family, hey, y'all, for the past year, I've been telling them I'm not going to be accessible. It's like I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to be here. It's already happening. So many of them, like, it's been so funny because since this retrograde and phone stuff, I've had a family member who can reach me, call me, that's in the same house with the other family member that can't get me, that's been calling me, and have to, for the past couple of days, they've been having to call someone else to call me because they can't get me. And I know some of y'all have been experiencing that. And that's what it's going to be like. They thought I was lying. I'm laughing because I'm like, they thought it was a game. Y'all think it's a game. You're not going to be able to get me. I'm not going to be accessible because I'm far out of that timeline. And I've made up within my mind that I'm not settling for this kind of connection anymore. It's not just me saying I'm cutting off or I'm walking away. I have a complete coherency. I have a mind, heart coherency. I have a thought, feeling coherency. In my vibratory field, there is a coherency that I call the true heart vibration. This is what the 5D is about. The things that happen and manifest, it is going to be an energetic alignment with your true heart vibration. That's where they get these algorithms from, y'all. It's really an energetic algorithm. And they call it algorithms here. Oh, the algorithms, but there's an energetic algorithm. And it aligns with your true heart vibrations. So it's not just what you say and what you do, but it's what aligns with you that's oh so true at a vibratory level. So you can't overtalk this, you can't outtalk this, you can't fake it, because it's a true heart vibration, and that's what's going to show up for you. So when you mean it, the universe knows that you mean it. And so that's what has happened when I was like, that's it. Heart, brain coherency, done with this family in that way. I get it. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. Thank you for me being inconvenienced about not having my phone. And the way that I handled it was beautiful. It was like the old me would have been fussing and, oh, I'm going to lose this, I'm going to lose that. And instead, I leaned into it. I exhaled rather than contract. This is what's going to help a lot of y'all through some things too. When things are happening, do not contract. When you stress with conflict, you contract. Take a deep breath. Stop. Exhale. Lean in. Lean in and be like, what? What you say? Okay. No phone? Why do I not have a phone? Oh, nobody can't reach me? So what's the message behind that? Nobody can reach you. Ooh, that's deep. For those who get it, I know you get it. If you get me, drop a 111 in the chat. I know. Let me see who get me with this one. Who gets that? If what has happened at the surface level said, you ain't got no phone, nobody can't reach you. And I leaned in closer and said, what's that? And the energy behind it says, they can't reach you. Do you get that? Your frequency is too high. You are out of range. They can't reach you. And that's because they're not supposed to. Let it go. And I got the message. Message. And as soon as I got my phone, I start going through my phone, happily deleting people. That's what I was telling y'all. That Facebook with 2,000 people, delete. I'm just gonna delete. Like, what you, I don't even talk to these people. Like, what are we friends? I'm not desperate. I'm not hard up for some friends. Clear that out. Because what the energy is saying is it's blocking space in your time space reality. Clear it out. It is energetic blockage of space. Clear it out. You don't need it. And for somebody like me who usually has some kind of attachments, like I don't even got to know these people. It's just hard for me to throw away and delete things sometimes. And it's something I've been working on at different levels in my life. But now it's like I'm at the peak of it. I'm at the peak. How many of y'all at the peak? And you just letting it go. I saw you, sis, in the chat. I saw the 111 piece. Yep, heart chakra alignment. That's right. That's right. Be in the same place and they literally can't see me. That part right there. And it's so funny. It's so funny to me. We in the same place and they looking and it's like you could be sitting right by them and you just like, they don't see me. They don't see me. And it's funny. It's not in a way where you're like, oh my God, nobody sees me. Like, we not hurt. We not hurt about it. We more looking like, please don't see me. Please don't see. Oh, I'm glad you don't see me. Okay, cool. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't see me. I want to heal myself. Do I start with opening chakras? How can I change? Welcome in, Atto. Ashe, thanks for the question. There's a lot of things you can do, but let me give you what to start with. How can I change? A change starts with you and something you want to let go and release. I could say right now, use these energies of whatever has been coming up for you, particularly from the last full moon and with this new moon. There is a liberation that is waiting for you, that's ready to be had. As soon as you're ready to release, there is an emotional release and through emotional intelligence that has to come through accountability. So that's something we were talking about earlier. So you may want to start with accountability. Remember that experience teaches wisdom, but a lot of times people don't tell us how to extract that wisdom. And so this is why we have to want to have this accountability. It's the accountability that is going to help you transcend. It is what transcends you. You cannot transcend without accountability. So accountability as in how you show up in any situation. Have that accountability, and through that transcendence, you will extract the wisdom in the experience. Believe me. And it's that wisdom that makes the load so much lighter. That wisdom is going to say, you don't need this. You overexerted yourself there. You put yourself where you didn't need to be unnecessarily. Yeah, I know you called yourself helping. I know you said you were helping and you really meant well, but it wasn't for you to help. These are the things that we're learning. Stand down. I'm learning sometimes that listen to the things that you have a knee-jerk reaction to doing and saying and responding, and quench that. Let the Mercury retrograde help you in that way. Say nothing. Instead of being so quick to be like, I can do it. No, you can't. Like I've had to replay that in my head a couple of times. This is how I know something shifted. Because in certain places where I would normally be like, well, it's okay, I can take you there, or it's okay, I can pick this person up, or usually that would be my natural response, and I can hear that still small voice saying, don't say it. Don't do it. I know you can do it, but don't. Because see, sometimes that's our ego a little bit. The part of our ego that wants to do. And sometimes that doing is a distraction. And sometimes we help everyone out there to avoid what we need to do in here. And the enemy knows that. The demonic database knows that. That's why certain families call on you at certain times. Look and see when you all are doing certain spiritual work, when you're meditating and things like that, and look and see who calls you at that time, who interrupts you at that time. This is how we pay attention to energy. Energy is showing you everything. Who is interrupting you at that time? Thank you for the 111. I see that. And then I see something else here. Let me see. I'm coming back to you, Otto, as well, because I do want to faithfully. I answered your question. If you're still there, drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know you're still here. Faithfully, I helped a little bit on how you can kind of begin and start, doing some things. And yes, opening your chakras will help, right? And I do one-on-ones. I can do a natal reading. Um, I'm an energy alchemist, so I do work with the energy centers, as I was talking about earlier. I'm actually doing chakra infusions right now with the new moon, meaning paying attention to the chakras that are speaking to you right now, because the chakras speak to us, y'all. They do. They do. The colors, the color code, the colors of the rainbow that are the chakras, that's the rainbow promise within you. Yeah, all of that. So with the chakra that goes with the new moon plus the chakra of the day on the 5D calendar, today is a sacral throat day. So I was speaking on that earlier. So these are things that I actually work on. This is how I alchemize energies. I pay attention to things like this. This is how I read the room. This is how I read the atmosphere. This is how I read the atmospheric body, which is 5D. So yes, I do natal readings. I forgot to mention that earlier, but I do natal readings. I do one-on-ones. You can message me or email me and set up an appointment for that, to definitely be able to help get you started in some direction. I always say know your natal chart. Your natal chart is your spiritual blueprint. It is your cosmic blueprint, your spiritual blueprint. Please know your natal chart and walk with your natal chart, meaning walk with it in your heart. Get to know it. Be familiar with it. Know what your sun sign, moon sign, north node, south node is. Not just your sun sign, but your moon sign. Right? Know what planets are in particular places. Like when you know these things, you understand yourself. Know where your Chiron is. Chiron is the wounded healer. When you know where your Chiron is, it tells you what you have come to heal in this lifetime. So like for those of us who are having our Chiron return, because Chiron just entered Taurus, so anybody that was born between 77 and 84 has their Chiron return right now. And that is the wounds that need to be healed from certain things that are in the house of Taurus. Everything that has to do with possessions, materials, relationships, all possessions. Your physical thing possessions and relationships are your possessions. That's why you call them my. My is a possessive noun. My mother, my father, my uncle. Yeah, our family members are our possessions. So these all play a part of it. What is our relationship with these possessions? It has everything to do with not with things within the earth, the body of the earth, your body. So a lot of challenges for those who have a Chiron in Taurus has to do with people who are looking at how much they are worth, like to know your worth, to know what is worthy to you in the world. What do you truly value? Challenges with your body, like do I like my body or not? Things like that. All of this is a part of that. So when you understand this, you realize why you have had certain challenges throughout your life. Because then you're like, damn, I did fight with that all my life. It shows up differently for everybody. It's not cookie cutter. It's not going to look the same. So you have to look in your life and see what are the wounds that you have come to heal in that house of Taurus and what Taurus is about. All the physical things and things like that. So yes, natal readings. This is what I do. Okay, come on through. This is what I do when you do a natal reading. I help you to understand that I don't just read you your chart. Like anybody can read your chart. You can pull up your own chart for free and look through your chart. So I'm not going to just read you your chart. I'm going to guide you through your chart to help you understand, to kind of point out, things to look at. And then every birthday that you have, you should be revisiting your chart. Every solar return that you have, another year around the sun, that you have is an opportunity to review your chart. Where am I right now? Every full moon, you should be looking at your natal chart. Every full moon, every new moon, every opportunity that you get. But just in case everybody's not like into that like that, I would say at least once a year on your birthday, review your chart. Look at where placements are. Look at your natal placement. Look at what it is you may be particularly working on right now. And for those who can work on it a little bit more, I would suggest every full moon or every new moon or both. Every time I'm listening to the forecast of full moon, new moons, I'm paying attention and I'm listening to what's in alignment with my natal chart. I can know how something is going to affect me because I understand my natal chart. So that's something we should have always in our, in our backpack, in our mind. So we can be like, oh, boom, I know what that's connected to. I know what's coming up for me in these energies. I know what that storm means for me in this energy. That's how you utilize the chart. So again, if you need a natal chart reading, this is what I can help you align with in doing your work. If you want help with opening your chakras and knowing which chakra to look at, which one is working with you, like where you may seem to have certain issues, particularly in your life, world, and affairs, and which chakra is out of alignment, why that is happening in your life, world, and affairs. All of this is very intrinsic and interactive and helping us to ascend in our ascension in time, because our energy centers or chakras are the doorways into our consciousness, the doorways into our mind. So all of this is very intrinsic. Again, natal chart readings, one-on-one chakra readings. I'm gonna start calling it that. Since thank you, Otto, for even asking about that, because that's something that, and I work more. It's funny because I do a lot of natal chart, like I do a lot of natal work, a lot of astrological cosmology. I like to call it cosmology. I'm attuned and in tune with the cosmos. And a lot of people ask me about it. Like, how did you know this? It didn't come from reading books. All of this came from going to the book of life within and starting to have a relationship with the divine nature in time. And but what comes naturally and effortlessly to me is chakras. That's what, like, I can, like, people can tell me what's happening in their life, world, and affairs, and I can tell you what chakra is out of alignment. If you tell me where you're having an ailment in your body, like right now, if Otto, if you're still in here, if you have any ailment in a particular part of your body, if you tell me where that is right now, I can tell you which chakra to go to, which chakra you need to look at. So, you know what? For the sake of love and light, and I'll be willing to share that with y'all right now in these last few minutes before I come off, because I'm getting ready to wrap it up. So in these last moments, I'm gonna give everybody a chance, or anyone who may want to check what chakra they may want to look at. If you have any ailment right now and you want to share that, go ahead, drop that in the chat, and I will. And I didn't even bring my cards out. I wanted to start doing like little one, two. Oh, there was more there. I stopped at Otto's comment. Not hurt at all. Love y'all. Good night. Thank you, little feather. Thank you for passing through. Okay, and so Otto, you did put a one, so you did get what I was saying. Sacral is hitting me. Yes, the sacral chakra is a lot of what's happening right now, because you know why? The sacral chakra is the emotional body. We are in the house of Cancer. We just had new moon in Cancer. Cancer is water. the element of the sacral chakra is water. But I had been talking about the sacral chakra since the summer solstice, because I was getting that hint. Everything that was happening was very sacrally. And so what you want to do to activate your sacral chakra right now is you want to eat a lot of water content foods. I've been eating a lot of watermelons. A lot of watermelon and cantaloupe, honeydew melons. All of these are water content foods that are good with speaking to the body, because it's also about the information that you put in your body. So the food is information. So when you eat these foods that are like the chakra, like eat foods that are the color of this chakra, like have some pumpkin warm ginger spice, I don't know, one of those type of things. For dinner, you may want to cook some things that have carrots in there. Make sure that you see the color orange, because there's something about that interaction with the color orange that is also activating the sacral. Remember, these are color codes. These color codes, colors carry vibrations of the information. Remember, information is vibration, which is communication. This is the divine communication. So the sacral is calling to you for a particular reason, because it is the emotional body that may be speaking to your relationships in your life. Maybe there's some things that's shifting up and your sacral is really having to process this. The energy in motion is the emotional body. Emotions are energy in motion. And so all of that has to pass through your nervous system, because your nervous system is the middleman that has to calibrate all this information. Everything that you feel, you sense. Remember to lean into it. Allow yourself to feel it. Lean in and feel it. Breathe and exhale. And the sacral is all about allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to feel. So when you feel it, it will be revealed. One of the chakras that go hand in hand with the sacral is the third eye. And if the sacral is having a hard time, you may want to look at your third eye and look at what you might be blocking yourself from seeing. Look to see if you have any personal biases or any personal perspective about any particular thing that is probably or possibly blocking your perceptiveness. Because how you perceive it is how it's going to affect your feeling. They go hand in hand. To feel it is to reveal it. When you feel things, whatever you're feeling, it affects how you perceive. And whenever you perceive things a certain way, it affects how you're going to feel it. So if your feeling is blocked, if certain feelings are maybe stuck and blocked and trying to process, then you're going to want to look in your third eye. And you may want to look at your heart, because the heart regulates emotions. So you may also want to look at your heart chakra. All right? I always say feel it to heal it to reveal it. No, sorry. Feel it to reveal it to heal it. Because there's nothing to be healed, only truth to be revealed. But in order for it to be revealed, you got to allow yourself to feel, because the information is in the field of information. Right? I always say the sensations of information. All of your sensations come to bring you the information. So allow your feelings to flow and allow yourself to enjoy it. The sacral is about pleasure in life, allowing yourself to get dirty, so to speak, in the earth, meaning you're not afraid of allowing experiences to happen. I'm not saying go jump around and be a big dummy, but allowing yourself not to go through life pumping the brakes all the time, afraid to do things, stopping yourself from doing things from guilt through society and things like that. That's how society hits us in the sacral. The number one block of the sacral is guilt. Guilt. Where in your life, world, and affairs have you felt guilty about certain things? And you may not call it guilt. So give yourself some time to look at how guilt shows up in your life. Because if there's a block, there's some guilt. Ashe? And society is really good at making us feel guilty about some things. Vedic has been more resonant for me. Okay, you do Vedic. Someone was asking me about that too. Um, I'm more the tropical. How much do you charge for natal chart readings? Lower back. Okay, Otto said lower back. Okay, and hip. Someone else said hip. Okay. All right, let me answer this first. Charge of natal chart readings. It depends on how much time you want to spend and how detailed it is. So $30. I have three packages basically. $30, 60 or 90. $30 for 30 minutes, $60 for 60 minutes, and $90 for 90 minutes. So, and it depend and each one is a little bit more detailed. That's why I give it more time. So of course 30 minutes is just going to be like a basic introduction to your chart and helping you to like understand it and know it. And of course we can meet some more for you to get to know more and more. um, 60 minutes is a little bit more detailed into the chart, and 90 minutes will open up the floor for more detail as well as spiritual, intuitive, an intuitive spiritual reading or guidance as spirit allows it. Because then I leave it open as we're connecting and talking for spirit to guide. I may do a card reading if you want within the 90 minutes. So that depends on you. Right? And the same thing with the chakra reading. If you want to do a chakra reading or just a spiritual one-on-one for those who are wanting to know, well, how do I bridge into the fifth dimension? What is it that I can understand? Like just to kind of see where you are. Like what category am I in the fifth dimension? Am I in the ideal time, real time, or true time? Am I a true one, a midway, or an unaware, right? So you may want to know like what category you are in and what's kind of happening for you. So either one of those readings is going to be the same. 30 for 30, 60 for 60, 90 for 90. Okay? So thank you for that question. And you can message me and email me to book an appointment. Lower back. And remember, I'm not going to be accessible after a certain, I'm open right now, but that spirit is moving me and got me deleting and moving a whole bunch of stuff. I'm making myself more available for, true ones that are ready to build the light colonies. The next calling, is really looking into that. Otto says lower back. All right, so lower back is where in your lower back, if you don't mind me asking, because there's the lower back that's like around the waistline to the hip is more the sacral. If it's low, like really low, like into the tailbone low, then that would be your root chakra. So if I'm kind of sensing when you say lower back, you're talking about, because I keep touching where my waistline is. Like if I go to my waistline and behind there. So you can confirm that with me. If it's that part of your lower back, that would be your sacral chakra. And so poetic, same thing. The hip is your sacral chakra. So that means your sacral chakra is out of alignment. And that could mean that other issues may be out of alignment with that. But if you think about the back is support. All of your back is our back is our support, and it's the main, highway, if you will, of our alignment, of our vertebrae and all of that. So our core goes right through that. So it is a support. So in your sacral chakra, it is a part that is also talking about your support in that particular area, reinforcement, possibly. The sacral is the emotional body, has to do a lot with relationships. So how are relationships affecting you? What is weighing on your back? What is like really probably quote unquote breaking the back in your sacral chakra? What are some things that you are doing that are possibly pulling on you and making you feel guilty? It could be obligations with the family, obligations with a loved one. These are things that are happening in the energetic, in the emotional realm. What is the emotional upstir, right? And like I said, the number one block is guilt. So look and see where there may be any guilt. Out of alignment means overactive and underactive in any particular area. If you're underactive in the sacral, it is a lack of feeling, right? Lack of emotion. You tend to not really feel anything, or numb, like you might numb your feelings a lot. If you're overactive, you feel everything. Like you're so emotional, um, into like really being drawn emotionally into everything when you're overactive. Also, this is has to do with creativity and sexuality. If you're underactive, you may have no sex drive at all. You may just not care at all and have a lack of creativity. The creativity is just not really flowing, right? And if it's overactive, it's going to be overactive in the same way. Overactive sexually, just like anywhere that you can, get it, and not calling nobody a hoe or nothing, but kind of being promiscuous and just any time, just really overactive. Um, and with creativity can also be the same thing, right? Just overactive in that area. How do you find and open your chakras? Well, finding them is pretty easy. They're in alignment, they're right there. You can Google it too. You can Google to see where are the chakras, pinpoint from the crown to the root. You really have more than 7 chakras, right? We really have like 114 chakras, but the ones in our core, it's a core 7 within the body, and you actually have a core 9, because you have one up here, your soul star chakra, that is above your crown in your auric field. I almost call it like the gateway, in the auric field. And you have one below you in the earth. That's called the earth chakra. So you really have 9 chakras that is actually correlated to the 9 planets. Stories for another day. Because if I go there, we gonna keep going. Um, oh, and I missed a comment there. My higher self has overextended itself to where I was hit with a schizophrenic break, and it's only now that I am seeing that mentally I died and was resurrected and now being given a second chance. Ashe. That is something that is happening with a lot of people as well. Like, not even just mental. Some people are having physical accidents and ailments where they realize that in that accident, like I never forget hearing this guy talk about it. In that accident, he was like, I died. Like, coming back out of that accident, he came back like a whole new person, like literally a new person. He couldn't be his old self if he wanted to the point where it almost feels weird, because it's like everybody that you're around, you're not the person that you were. It's almost like that part of you died, and it's like this is a second part of you, that kind of jumped in. And that's what happens mentally too for those who are having like mental breaks. um, Psychosis, spiritual psychosis is a real thing too. um, and some people have spiritual psychosis and get stuck. um, if they don't have help in transitioning through that spiritual psychosis, they can get stuck in a forever mental, trap, mental illness, where they're just stuck there, and for the rest of their life, because they haven't had help in transcending and transiting into this next level of yourself, right? So, yeah, I get what you're saying. And thank you for sharing that, because somebody else here may have needed to hear it, where, hey, I'm going through this and this has snapped. And I found myself explaining that today, that if you don't, this is something that we really got to understand with the fifth dimension, that we are accelerating, we are evolving, and as we are expanding in consciousness, if we choose to stay somewhere, even though we're aware that there's more and we know better, but we choose to stay straddling the fence and in lower vibrations, as as we continue to accelerate, you're going to pop. It's like something is going to break, something is going to pop, and that may put you into some kind of psychosis. That's what has happened to a lot of people, because life is expanding, the frequencies are moving, shifting, but yet you are stuck in this space. And it also depends on the contract that you have, that you came into this lifetime with. So if you had set out to do a particular thing, but for, let's say, some reason you got lost in the sauce in your timeline, in your lifetime, you got lost in the sauce, lost into the veil of forgetfulness, in the sea of amnesia, and completely just did not reconnect to your higher self to do what you came here to do. If you made a contract and we get to these particular points and it's pulling you towards it, and you keep avoiding this calling because you're too lost in the sauce of the world, then it is going to cause a friction, and it is going to cause for a snap. So these are things that we got to kind of be mindful of. If you feel yourself toiling with it a lot, and you can see where you feel trapped, right? That's what was explained to me. It was excuse me, that's what was explained to me, that it's like, oh, I feel trapped because I know better, I know what I need to do, but at the same time, this is what I want to do. I want to still have fun in the world in this way. And as time has been going, they've been feeling more and more trapped. And that's what's happening with a lot of people, because you trap yourself in that old earth, and you're not allowing yourself to expand through consciousness, because you don't want to let go and release. We have to release the densities, and we have to be willing to move forward, or else, if not, you're telling the universe, you're telling the energies, the frequencies, you're saying, I want to stay here, but the energies are moving and you can't. And not only that, your higher self has made a choice, and it's time to remember your choice. It's time to remember who you are and what you came to do. And it's time to remember, be a part of the remembering. You're not here to just be a spectator in the world, unless you consider yourself an NPC. Only the NPCs can get away with that. That's why it looks like you're looking at some people like do dumb stuff, and you're like, how come they can get away with it? They don't have the spiritual contract that you have. They're an NPC. They ain't got nothing to lose. Their soul doesn't have a contract because they probably don't have a soul, or their soul has been snatched. We can't compare ourselves to soul snatchers. Ashe? Thank you for following the live. Thank you for following. Karma Dharma. Oh, I like that. Karma Dharma 888. And that's one of my things I always like to say. If you want to get to your Dharma, you got to clear your karma. I like how you put karma in front of Dharma, because you got to clear that karmic imprint to get to that Dharmic life. I like that. On the 8882, Karma Dharma on the 888. That's a triple infinity. Ashe. What's the best way to open up the heart chakra? Oh, okay. The heart chakra. The best way to open up the heart chakra is breathe, for one, because the heart chakra is about the lungs. Everything in this area is the heart chakra. The heart that circulates the blood, the heart chakra circulates your energy, your frequency. So you want to physically open your chest cavity. Do certain movements like this that pull your shoulder blades back. Take a deep breath. Breathing is really good for this chakra. So you want to breathe in through the nose, hold it, and out. And when you exhale, let your exhale be more than your inhale. So if you inhale for 4, exhale for 6 or 8. Just exhale longer to help open up that heart, right? For foods, you can eat foods to help activate. Eat leafy vegetables, all type of leafy greens. Vegetables are really good, or any green fruits activates this chakra, but mainly greens. Green smoothies, a nice salad, uh, green fruits, all of that. Eat that to help open up this chakra. Wear the color green and pink. You can also have certain crystals that will help. Look at any crystals and see what calls to you. Rose quartz is usually one of the main chakras that are good, one of the main crystals that are good for this chakra. You can get an amazonite. What else is good for this chakra? Rhodocite, amazonite. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but you can look up crystals for this chakra as well. Um, Things you can do in terms of in your consciousness, in your character, in your behaviors. You can practice forgiveness. And I don't mean just forgiving other people, but forgiving yourself first. Because forgiveness of yourself allows you and extends you to forgiving others. You can look to make sure that you don't condemn yourself or others. No judgment towards yourself and others. And I don't mean discernment, because you got to have discernment. Don't throw away your discernment and your good judgment, but do not be judgmental. You know, I'm not saying that you are, but I'm just throwing things out there. Being very, because sometimes we're too judgmental of ourselves. It's not just about being a judgmental person towards others, right? One of the things I like to always say with the heart chakra to look out for is in whether you're being underactive or overactive. And underactive is when you're not forgiving enough. Like you don't forgive others. You're very judgmental, things like that. That's, underactive. Overactive is too forgiving. And yes, there is a such thing as too forgiving, to the point where you become a doormat for other people, to the point where you make excuses, like you give yourself too many excuses because you forgive yourself for everything. And that sometimes can be a problem for people who are like spiritual, like you can fall into the bracket of spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassers do that because they're in so much love and light all the doggone time that they don't realize the shadows. And they make excuses, like they excuse themselves because they put everything under love and light, and that's just not the case. So certain things that you need to learn a hard lesson from, it will miss you because you've excused it under love and light. You've used excuses like, it's okay because I'm learning. It's okay because I'm, it's a part of the frequencies. And it's like we use spiritual jargon to make certain lessons be too okay. So there's a time where we could be too forgiving. And then so it doesn't allow us to be assertive with ourselves about truth, authentically true, and say, hey, this is not what I need to be doing right now. I got to be honest with myself. This is not okay. I don't care how good it looks under the love and light, rainbows and unicorn farts and all of that. I don't care how much it looks good. And you feel like, but I'm doing the right thing. No, you know what it is that you need to learn in this lesson. We have to allow ourselves to learn that lesson. So those are just some things I can give you about the heart. Hopefully that answered some of it. Let me see. I felt that when you said that, Ashe. Okay. I missed it. What was that, Celestial? What was it that you felt at the time? My hips started hurting while I was at work. Overextending, suppressing certain emotions. See? You'll see what it is. Overextending yourself, suppressing things, and that'll happen at work. So you are going to want to find that balance while you're at work. Don't suppress things. Suppression becomes depression. When you're suppressing certain things that bother you, annoy you, if you're suppressing anger, things that make you upset, and because you're at work, you got to be, diplomatic and on your P's and Q's. So you're not allowing yourself to be angry. You're not speaking up for yourself because you might be the angry person of what it may look like. So what happens is you suppress your anger, which is a true emotion that's indicating something to you. You ignore it and you suppress it. And guess what happens? You become depressed. And so in your diet, you may find that you like a lot of sweets. From the moment that you said that you're suppressing things, I already kind of sensed that. So you may be having certain depressions. It doesn't mean clinically depressed, but you may be already, like, you'll find that when you have a craving for something, more likely you probably crave sweets. And that is why. Because in your conscious mind, you're consciously, the emotion that needs to be fed is the emotion of depression, which is the suppressed anger. So you want to start to acknowledge that. Don't suppress it. Write it down. Speak about it if you can. If you can, and because I know how it could be at certain jobs. If it's something that you can say, and set your boundaries. Set your boundaries at work of, look, this is what I'm available for. This is what I'm not available for. And you don't got to give them too much explanations. Don't do anything out of guilt. That also is not good for the sacral. Don't feel guilty about it. Free yourself of it and set your boundaries. I'm available for this. I'm not available for that. Know your job duties. Know your titles. Don't overextend yourself. Something that's not you, that's not for you, don't do it. Don't do it. And then start to prepare yourself for where is your sacred service. Like, start to find out the pleasures in life. Start to explore your pleasures so you can see what you're here in life to do, because it may not be that job, and your gifts and your passions make room for you. So give yourself time and space to find your passions so you can start to tap into it, so that at some point you won't even need that job. At some point something's going to change and you're going to realize, whether it's a career or not, it might be something you've been in for years, I don't know, but whatever it is, these are the changing times. And when you allow yourself to explore your passion, it's going to open up pathways for you. And at some point, you're going to be able to be more strict on your boundaries of what you won't do. And if they come to you and say, hey, well, if you don't do this, I got to let you go, you may be at a point where you could say, you know what, fine. I'm going to step out on faith, and I'm going to let my gift and my passions make room for me. So you can look at that too. I'm going to focus on slowing my movements. Yes, Ashe, slow them the heck down. Felt that. Celestial, I was still looking to see when you said, feel, oh, okay, the deep breath you took on opening up the heart chakra. Good. I'm glad you could feel it. Ashe, I'm glad I could send that wind your way. That, and you know, I actually felt it too when I did it with you. I felt the release, and it even felt good to just open my heart. You were reminding me to do that as well. And tomorrow's the heart chakra day. So tomorrow would be a root heart chakra day, because it'll be the root chakra of the new moon manifestation. Will be on our 7th day, the last day. Rest, which is to trust the creative process, rest assured in the creative process. So it'll be a root heart. And I love root heart days. So as we're closing out this new moon manifestation, we're going to see this root heart, which is what we've been working on the past few months. I've been seeing this root heart like pattern all the time, where we're being called to bring our root into our heart, because those are the 4 lower chakras in the body. The other chakras are upper chakras. They're your spiritual ones. But the lower ones are the physical ones, with the root being the most physical and the heart being the bridge into the spiritual. So our heart chakra is when when we're evolving in our chakras from the root going up. The heart is where we self-actualize, right? And the root is the most physical. The sacral is the emotional body. And the solar plexus is your identity body, your mental body. It's how you see yourself. It is the ego self, right? Whether the wise ego or the misappropriated ego, it's the ego nonetheless. So this is the mental body, the thought process. And so, yeah, we're working this. So the root heart says we're bringing that root into the heart. We're raising the vibrations from the root in the earth, ascension into the heart, into the energetic body, and just see that energy just pouring out into your life, world, and affairs. And that's the heart. That's what's turning over for you. So yes, take some deep breaths, circulate that heart. And what you could do sometimes is when you take the deep breath, this is what I do. I circulate to the left. There's something about the left and why it's done that way. I just follow instructions. And because the left is the receptive side, the left side is your feminine side, it's receptivity, and the heart is on the left. So when you breathe in, hold, and release while circulating. Very deep exhale. Sa sakem sahu. Sa sakem sahu. Sa sakem sahu. And for those who are comedically inclined, you may know what that means. For those who don't, the Sa is the breath of life. The Sa is spirit, and that is the breath of life. So let that Sa, breath of life, move through you. Sakem is the life force animated energy that moves through you. You can consider that the chakras. That's why the chakras in Kemet is called the Sakemras. It is that life force energy that is animatedly moving through you. And the Sahu is the spiritual awareness, or what I like to call the risen spirit, the breath of life, the spirit that had come through you and moved through the energy centers has now been risen. The Sahu, spiritual awareness. Sa. That's a little Kemet one-on-one for some of you who may not have known. So I take deep breaths and I use that as a mantra and chant sometimes. Sa, Sakem, Sahu. If anyone is comedically inclined, you may want to utilize that to activate and open any of your dormant ancient comedic codes inside of you. Is there a certain order to unblocking the chakras? Like, is it better to begin from the root and then up? Yeah. When you're doing transmutation, like when I do the full moon, it's a full moon transmutation, and I go from the root going up. But now that whenever I'm doing a new moon, it's manifestations, new moon manifestation, which is with the creative process. So I go from the crown going down. So the crown would be my first chakra. But I'm going to say, to keep it simple for you, to keep it easy to understand, yes, when you're working on your chakras, especially those who are beginning, you want to start at the root, because naturally we are physical people and we want to start at the most physical. The root is the base. It is the physical, most physical chakra. So you want to start at the root and start to remove the blocks out of the root. The number one block of the root is fear. Number one block of sacral is guilt. The number one block of the solar plexus is shame. And the number one block of the heart is grief. So those are with those four. The other three, I can give you those two just in case you want to know. Somebody would be like, where's the rest? The number one block of the throat is lies. The number one block of the third eye is illusions. And the number one block of the crown is ego attachment, or what I call personal attachment. Because some people might say, well, I don't have an ego and I'm not, even though, we're not being honest with ourselves, because we all got an ego. It's the personal. Your ego is your personal self, your personal identity, the person of you, because you are the son. What they call the only begotten son, that's you. So the son as you. You are the person. So personal attachment would block your crown chakra. Okay, beautiful. That's beautiful. Yes, yes. Right? You like that, Celestial? Let me send y'all some hearts. Let me send y'all some hearts to those of you who want to open up that heart chakra. Let's everybody right now drop some hearts. Take a deep breath and just send some hearts just to open up that heart chakra. And drop some green hearts. Let me see some green hearts in the chat. For those of us who want to open that heart chakra, just drop some green hearts. Hearts, 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 or pink. Pink is the link in the pink. Pink is deep, deep heart chakra is the pink. That's why the rose quartz is pink. There's certain crystals that are pink. That's that color pink. Is the deep, deep. When you are deep in your heart chakra, going deep into your authenticity and your deep heart chakra alignment, is pink. And that is when you come into a certain unification in the heart, because the heart is the bridge, and it bridges from the crown to the root into the heart. And when you look at that, that kind of makes pink, because you have purple and red, and you kind of infuse that purple and red, you're going to get like this kind of fuchsia type pink, like a little dark pink because of the purple. So you can kind of look at that. When they come together, you'll see that pink, and that is the link of the in the heart chakra, right? So all right, we've been hanging. Some of y'all are up late with me. How do you know if your chakra is unblocked, and how would you maintain it or keep it aligned? And that would be that would be really good to go deeper into in a chakra reading. If we could do a chakra reading or one-on-one, I would definitely say to make an appointment for that, so we can go deeper into that. But just to answer it at a simplified level, let me see, go back down. All right, how do you know if your chakra is unblocked? One of the main things that for me to know readily if someone's heart chakra is blocked is what's going on in their life, world, and affairs. What's going on in their bodies. That's why I asked if anyone had any ailments. If you have any ailments in your body, like you know now, that sacral lower back, that sacral chakra is blocked. That's just from a body, standpoint. But if we have a one-on-one and we go over, if you tell me what's kind of happening in your life, world, and affairs, I can kind of see which chakra is blocked. Like there's certain things that happen in your life because that chakra is blocked. Right? For some people, if you get a lot of migraines right here, your third eye is blocked. For people who suffer a lot of migraines and headaches, that has to do with the third eye and or the crown. Right? There's certain things, if you have finance problems and things like that, that has to do with the root chakra. Right? If you have issues in the identity area, like that's the solar plexus. If you have issues in your digestive system, that's the solar plexus. So there's certain things that are happening in your life, world, and affairs that you can know this chakra must be out of alignment. If that's showing up in your life, this is out of alignment. Right? There's some people that have their throat chakras out of alignment because of keeping secrets, because when you keep secrets, it's an omission of truth. So it's indirect lies. If you're not living in your truth, if you're not being an expression and authentically true to you, soul integrity, it blocks your throat chakra. So there's certain things that are happening in your life, world, and affairs that can show you that it's blocked. So faithfully, I was able to answer that for you. And what was another part to that? How would you maintain it or keep it aligned? And that's just knowing your chakras, like eating the foods, like what I said. There's eating the foods, there's doing certain yoga exercises, certain movements that pertain to that chakra. Having certain crystals, because the crystals are energies. They work with your auric field and everything. So certain crystals that you may have that kind of help keep that in alignment, and being aware of what that chakra is about so that you can maintain that. Like what I was saying earlier about my root chakra with the calendar and things like that. I have to be aware. Look, I've always been underactive in my root, to the point where I push physical things away. Like I push money away. I don't like, and I had to realize, hey, you got to have a healthy relationship with money, because even though, yes, money is an illusion, money is a currency. It is an extension of currency. The true currency is energy, yes, but money is an extension of that currency, and how it shows up in this world, in our relations and interrelations with each other, comes through that. because not because of me so much, but because of the world. And that is how the world, the collective consciousness, still uses money and values money and is tethered to money in a certain way. So I have to learn to charge to respect my currency because they respect the currency in that way. So, and that is a part of the physical body. Money is, of course, very physical, very material, and that is very physical in the body, right? Again, it was one of my Chiron in Taurus issues because it's a material thing. So these are things that we have to kind of look at in our life, world, and affairs. What are we doing? Are we underactive or overactive in this chakra? And how can I maintain this balance? So, just giving that example to you, that's how I can maintain it. I have to remember this is how I got to respect money. So, even though in my personal bias, I'm like, oh, money, ugh, I don't like people with money and things like that, people that put money first. And like, I have this kind of aversion towards it. And I should say had, because I'm coming out of that. I've evolved through that. But I know what it feels like still to have that aversion. And sometimes it's a knee jerk reaction because I've been that way all my life. But now to maintain this chakra, I have to remember, hey, you got to charge for what you do. You got to make sure you have a fee that is worth what you do because they are out there paying whatever they want to pay for in whatever way. So you can't be sitting here going, oh, I don't want to charge too much. No, set it at the price of what it's worth because you know what you're worth. And in reality, it's worth way more than what you're setting it at, even in that degree. So that's how I work to maintain my root chakra, my that was underactive, to get it out of that stage of underactiveness. Does that make sense? Let me know if that has helped some. Sometimes I feel like I just have to use my example to kind of see how it makes sense for some of you. Do you eat meat? Um, right now, I ain't been eating much of nothing ever since the summer solstice, and these energies done had me in a detox. And even when I got off the detox, this is what I'm saying. Another part of this 5D ascension, our bodies are changing, y'all. Like we're going from carbon-based body to crystalline body, and it's really amplified. And the body is saying no. As much as I want to eat, I just tried to eat 2 cookies yesterday, and my body was like, blah. And this was a cookie that I used to like. So no, to answer your question, I'm not eating meat. I don't even know the last time I ate a piece of meat. Not even a patty. And I used to love my beef patties. Um I've never been a fan of meat in that way. If it wasn't a beef patty or a Taco Bell or a cheeseburger when I was younger, I wasn't eating it. And the only beef that I ate as an adult is a beef patty. If I can't get my ackee patty, you know. For those who are Jamaican, you know what I'm talking about. That ackee patty is life. Um, but yeah, meat. And sometimes if I have salad, I may cut up a turkey in there. The only meat I really ate was chicken and turkey. I wasn't a big meat fan anyway. And now it just has been non-existent because meat are low densities. So if anyone is doing any spiritual work, and I always say this to those who come into any of my workshops, whenever you're doing spiritual work, you want to lay low off of meat. And I utilize my detox guidelines to, whenever I'm eating and going through certain frequencies, I use my detox guidelines, which is no meat, no sweets, no carbs, because that's how you give your body a break. From having to break down these foods. Your body has to work to break down the meat. It has to work to break down the sweets, and it has to work to break down the carbs. So the best way to help with these light code translations and integrations as we're getting these frequencies is change your diet. No sodas, no coffee. You know, sometimes I make a little coffee here, but it can't be you get up every day and have coffee every single day. the sodas, all of these things are information that blocks, they're information blockers. And it kind of puts up a resistance as the light codes are flowing through. This is information that I would give in pioneering the 5D for those who want to understand, how do I withstand these frequencies? These are some of the conversations that we'd have if I did a one-on-one. I would be more into these type of conversations of what to eat, not really telling you what to eat, but helping guiding you to listen to your body and see what your body is rejecting. And then, letting you know what other things you can do, like the breath work and the grounding, walking barefoot, all of these, going by the ocean, going by a body of water, a lake, a river, which, by the way, for those of you that are needing help with the sacral, that also works with the sacral. Being by bodies of water, ocean, lake, river, listening to a stream. You can pull up a meditation that is just playing water, a listening stream, and things like that to help soothe and like stabilize the sacral chakra. Right? Ooh, 3 already. Ooh. Okay. I had been from 2 something I said I was going. But sometimes I get in this and I do like to share the information, and it's good when I see that those who are um, seeing it for themselves want to, ask the questions, or even, don't forget the 5D timekeeping. For those who need that, email me. For those who want a natal reading, a chakra reading, or just a 5D ascension, guide into the 5th dimension, whatever that is for you. I am available at this particular time until Spirit says not accessible right now. So with that, if there aren't any more questions, I can go ahead and salute us out. It's been beautiful sharing this light with you until I come back again. And remember, we're going to talk more about family dysfunctions. I really want to help guide us through that in these last few days before Mercury goes back, because Mercury is really helping us to see things. And I think a lot of us need to look and see what's happening in that energetic realm, and the things that I want us to kind of have a conversation about it. Some of us can throw out some things and be like, this is happening to me. What is this? And I can kind of tell you what's demonically happening in that scenario. Because things are not what they seem, y'all. They're not. Like I said, I told y'all I had a family member that was just poking, just a little bit of poking. Right? Asking me to make something for them. Like, that you're already siphoning my light and my energy. And then when you hear me there, tell them to make me some. No, that's poking and trying to attach to my light and extract. And that's a demonic move. So we got to be willing to realize what these demonic plays are, and to call them out, to stop them in their tracks, and to not feed in. There are some family members that you can't be giving your stuff to right now. Do not receive from them. And you know who these family members are, y'all. Don't receive from them. Don't give to them. Do not come to the family function bringing your best treat. I stopped cooking for my family a long time ago. They can no longer ask me for my dish, because it's things like that. You might think, it's just making something and I could do it. No, it's another way to demonically tap into your light source and extract from you. And then you co-sign with more BS. What are planets? Are they places you can reach physically or only observe? Ooh, that is a good question. But planets are energetic, I call them celestial bodies. And yes, they are consciousness, if you can look at it like that. These planets are a part of our solar system that add to the collective consciousness, and they add to the cosmic clock, the tick of the talk of the cosmic clock, and where they are in the cyclical nature, where they are through the 12 gates, which they call the zodiac signs. It's really the 12 gates or the 12 houses. That's the cosmic clock. And so where they are moving, they are the hands of time. The sun and the moon is really our shorthand, longhand, tick of the talk of the cosmic clock. but the other planets are also tell the time through the hands of time, and they are what I would call consciousness. So, like I mentioned, when Third Eye Atlas was passing through our solar system, it upgraded our entire solar system at a conscious level. Third Eye Atlas itself was a cosmic consciousness that was upgrading and letting off certain gases and whatever into the atmosphere, helping us to unlock certain codes. So, these planets and celestial bodies house and hold certain principalities that interact as they enter into each house and each gate, if that makes sense. So, to answer your question, it's physical because we can physically see it, but physical as in it's a place like Earth for us to physically go in and live on? No, even though they're trying to make that out of Mars, they're trying to find life on Mars, and them people that's trying to run away and leave Earth because they're not transcending with Earth, because they're not on the planetary ascension, so they're trying to leave before they get annihilated. um, so yeah, it's not a physical like I'm gonna go to Mars or whatever. That's the thing. They doing things they ain't got no business doing. Those planets are parts of consciousness in our solar system that are a part of our soul star. Solaris, our sun, is like the soul star of our entire system. Ashe. So faithfully, I answered that question as well. I know I did. I don't like to say hopefully. Faithfully, it was answered on your end and you it was received. All right. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments before I close out? Thank you so much. Yes, you did. Okay, cool. I like your questions, Otto. I like the way you. So, we gotta have some more. If I gotta play some music sometimes, get some cards out or something, because sometimes I don't want to just be throwing information at y'all. But if you like it, I love it. If you love it, I like it. If it helps, I love that it can help somebody to have another understanding of themselves and get into this work, right? And get ready to get these light colonies online. Those who are really serious, reach out, let me know. True ones, the 144 ascendants that are ready for this next level because it is a commitment. I am looking to open that line, open that community so that we can start building, because it's time to build those light colonies at a true level. All right. So, with that said, thank you all for coming through and doing what you do and being part of this cosmic avenue. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Be willing to share light. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the share. Thanks for the gifts. Thanks for just being here. Here, there, and everywhere. It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. You always enlighten us. Thank you, Celestial. I'm glad. I'm glad that we could, it's a reflection of me. Thank you for what you all share as well. And we'll be able to be on the up and up from here. I know you a true one. We need to get ready to do them light colonies. So y'all clear up what y'all need to clear up and get what you need to get, because we're shifting to the next level. So we'll talk more about that, and we'll talk more about the Mercury retrograde in our next live. I'm going to see if I can start having set lives so you all will know when I'm going on and it's not a surprise. But sometimes I like surprises. Sometimes I like just spontaneously, like Spirit says, go now, go hitherto now. Ashe, love and light. Thank you all. Lots of love and light. Peace.